Hey everyone, welcome back to Logic Bombs. Today we'll finish row 3. Let's jump in. Okay, we've got a bunch to look at here. Um, hmm. This 5 cannot possibly do all of these by the nature of there being walls here, which means the 5 has to kill at least. If there's 2 walls, they have to get at least 2 guys up here. So we can lock that in for now. And at minimum, they also have to, even if they get everyone here, they also have to get 2 more, which could be here or it could be there or there with a wall there. So no solving that quite yet. But that does mean that this is blocked off, and there's a block off somewhere in. That's not true. Ignore me. I'm lying. It seems. Um. Hmm. Is there anyone else who can get this guy? No, this 2 absolutely has to get this monster because this 1 will have to go through someone else to get him. This 1 also won't be getting this guy because actually no, this 1 could get that guy and this 1 could get that guy, which I feel like probably the solution given how odd of an arrangement that is, but we'll see. Well, long story short, it could be going there or there, but we just don't know yet. Next up, anything else that we can figure out in this section? I don't think so. Hmm. There's only one zone, which is nice. This assignment danger in any way does not look it. This bomb has to be, or this wall has to be somewhere in here to stop this bomb from getting more monsters than it deserves. So we put a wall there for sure. That means we can no longer make this air because this is no longer viable to completely fill as per the 3 requires. So we know that this bomb, there's a wall somewhere here blocking him from getting that monster, which forces us to bring this bomb all the way down here, putting a wall there in the process. That's a good first step. With that knowledge, we know that this bomb, you should know this from the start, but this bomb has to get this guy. Um, yeah, there's no other way to get him. So no matter what, he was getting him from the start. Um, and this bomb. How do we get this guy then? Oh, that requires the 5 to get him. Okay, grand. Next up, this 5 can either get these 2 guys or these 2 guys. Uh, Either way, the walls work out. It seems because we put a wall there and there. If we go for that guy, we put a wall. Walls there if we go for these 2 guys. Does that break any major rules? I don't think so. Okay. Just looking at this, I'm not seeing any more super obvious things, at least to me. I'm sure someone has seen something that they're screaming at me in the comments below, but um, there has to be one wall here. which is stated before makes intuitive sense. So I'm not sure why I'm stating that again now. Oh, wait. This monster can only be gotten by this number 1 now, because this 2 was blocked off partway through. Meaning that the 5 has to get this guy, which means this guy has to get the monster to the left of him, forcing this 2 to get him, and this 2 to get him. That puts a wall there necessarily, and there necessarily, making that empty space. That necessarily puts a wall somewhere in there, but that's not super helpful. There has to be a wall here. There has to be a wall somewhere in there. There has to be a wall here. And there's got to be a wall somewhere in there, but again, not immensely helpful yet. Oh, there has to be a wall here to finish off that column. What does that tell us? Oh, we should have known that anyway because of the forced monster rule. There has to be a wall there. There's one more wall in this row. Don't forget. And we've got to start connecting everything up because this slime is trying to look more and more disconnected from things. We got to bring a connection there. We got to bring a connection there somewhere. If we do this, that's neither here nor there, to be honest. Oh, this is all empty too. Should have clocked that. That forces I think that's the solution. That forces us to put those there, which then solves this row, which then does that solve anything? That solves this row. This column is solved. What else is solved? This is solved. This is solved. This is solved. That's solved. Not solved quite yet, though. With that now, it's solved. 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 Boom. That wasn't so bad. Next up, we finish this row in immediately, just because we can. Oh, there's 4 slimes. Ooh, 4 zones in this crowded level. That's interesting. This bomb has to get this guy. There's no other monster it can get. We have to block it from getting that slime somehow, or from hitting the slime somehow. We'll figure out what that looks like later. But no matter what, this is all part of the same group. So we're probably looking at... We can't have... I guess we could have those connected theoretically, but probably not. That's all speculation, though. I'll have to figure that out a little bit later. That has to be blocked off to stop that bomb from getting him, which forces this to be open. Which forces that to be blocked off, which forces that to be open, which then means this guy's also getting that guy. Blocked off, blocked off. You take him, blocked off. You have to take him, and there's a block off somewhere in there. Oh, this is solved, actually. This column's solved. Are there any other solved rows or columns? You have to, let's just clear up the remaining monsters here. You have to get those 2. And then there's definitely a block there to stop you from hitting that slime. Any other obvious monster rules? I don't think so. So let's get to solving the slime rules. All of this has to be open to get to at least there. This slime's hikey got a lot already going on here solved. I guess if you put like... Oh, we have to put the wall here, because if we put it like there, for example, this all connects, and we can't have that. We can't have this slime and that slime interact. So the wall goes there. This is a solved column. Does that help us anywhere else? I don't think so. Hmm. Just not sure where the slime trails go from here. Um, yeah, with this being a question mark, we can't really get a ton more progress going. Though, if I had to guess, this is not connected. Just because then we'd have what connections here. Um, hmm. We'll figure that one in when we get there. Yeah, I'm not another super obvious play here. Oh, well, I do see one actually. This can't be connected there because then that connects the two slimes. Um, does that apply anywhere else? Where's the second block for this? Where's the second wall? Yeah, any other obvious spots where they'll connect if we let them? I mean, the slime's got to connect to somebody, and there's already the slime center down here. So, gonna be real, this guy's got to connect to these guys somehow. Exactly how, I'm not quite sure yet, but we'll find out. I guess he could also go down here, to be honest, which is a possibility we'll have to keep track of. There's got to be a wall somewhere in here still. Don't forget that. This middle section being all question marks is rather annoying. Is rather unamusing, to be honest. Oh, I feel like I'm making good progress on this one. Now I've just kind of I felt like I was making good progress on this one, and now I've just kind of hit a wall. Okay, we can't have. I feel like we're about to have this part locked off. We're gonna have an empty space somewhere up here, and this will be blocked off. But exactly how, TBD. There's gonna be a wall somewhere in there too, but that's not particularly helpful either. Are there any other slimes in danger of being gotten by bombs? I don't think so. There's no more bomb rules I can use. Yeah, there's no more besides this guy needing to be protected somehow. I'm gonna work up the assumption that this slime connects to these guys. That could be really bad, but I'm gonna try it. That means we can't have these guys connect. That makes that a wall. We can't have them connect here. Makes those all walls. Makes that open. We then. Ooh, what happens next? What does happen next? This all mostly gets filled in. Hmm. Well, then we can't have all of this be open because that connects these two slimes. That means that the extra 2 is not there or there, or the extra block of the 2 column is there or there. Um, we can't have. What do you connect to? You probably connect to this slime here, right? Probably is not certainty, but what are you gonna do? Hmm. I'm looking at this and I'm not seeing what the next obvious step is. And I feel like I'm missing something very obvious here. Like, there's got to be a wall somewhere in here to stop this whole thing from connecting. And it also solves the problem up here of what's wrong if these two connect. By the way, I don't know why I never thought about these being connected and then having the wall somewhere else. Um, we're gonna try that. Like that, then solved. Oh wow. So don't do what I did. I made some pretty good assumptions, and that's not good in a logic game. But I feel like I was on the right track, and it borne out. I could either stare at one for another. I could have stared at that one for another 10 minutes, or I could have made a couple general educated assumptions and moved forward, which is exactly what I did. Next up, this one. Are there any slimes in danger of being bombed? I don't think so. There are 4 zones, which is neither here nor there at this point. Are there any monsters that can only be hit by a certain bomb? This one. You can only be hit by that guy. You can only be hit by that guy. You can only be hit by that guy. With that, we have to go there with him. That means you have to go either there or there. Well, that means you have to go over here, forcing you to go there, forcing you to go there. With that, the monster rule is mostly solved. We have to have a wall there and a wall there, but we already knew that. There has to be a wall there for sure and a wall here for sure. One there and one there. Let's start figuring out slime rules. Let's see. This is all one construct. This is one construct. This will probably connect to that, but who knows exactly how and if that's for sure yet. This guy will probably connect to that one up there, but again, TBD how. This row seems more solvable than most, given that we already have a wall in there. We also know this one's going to have a wall there and a wall there. What are the logistics of that? What is the wall here doing? Is it blocking off from this section here? Because if we have a wall like here, for example, there's no big long stretches. We can't have like this guy be connected to him by like protecting off that. Hmm. I wonder if this guy is off his like own little world over here. We'll find out shortly, I guess. The wall does have to be somewhere in here. So I'm getting a vibe of like this or something. But again, let's start logicking it out and see how or if that actually pans out. Hmm. I mean, just looking at this, I I'm not seeing anything obvious to do here. I feel like the obvious thing is to try and stop these two groups from touching. This slime here and this slime here. That means you gotta have a wall. We can't we can't have this. There's gotta be at least one wall in there somewhere. Then walls up here. So I'm honestly getting a vibe of something like along these lines, and we use the one wall here. Yeah, because if we have the wall here, then these guys will touch. So we have to have the wall somewhere in there, making all of these empty. Um, yeah, okay. What's next? With all of this empty, I mean, we can assume that unless we're doing something ridiculous up here, um, I think it's safe to say that these are going to be empty too. This is all like one big chunk, right? So what does that do next? Well, we gotta, I guess, attach. You have to be attached to him because if we don't attach you to him, this guy's got this. If we attach these together, oh, there has to be walls there to stop those two from touching because otherwise this guy has nowhere to call home. That's empty, forcing this to be a thing. Um, empty, empty. Who knows what's next up there? Then we're connecting you to here somehow. Um, down here, we also need to stop this group from touching at the bottom here. What does that look like? Oh, that has to be a wall with there as well to stop these two from touching. Ooh, 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 ooh. We're getting somewhere. All of this is open. Um, who knows where the next one is? We can't have these guys touch, but there's no reason to think that they will here at this moment, or at least no like outright confirmation. We gotta put like a wall there or something. There's gonna be a wall in here somewhere. We can't have both. We can't have this be empty. Yeah, this has to be a wall. That's the whole thought. That has to be a wall. Are there any other individual spots where it would just bring things to pieces? Well, this is connected to this for sure. Exactly how TBD, but it is for sure. I'm looking around here. Are there any other like single block will connect them kind of vibe? Places where a single block will connect two groups of slime or two zones, I guess. I've been calling them zones, but I'm not sure if that's the best possible word for them. I like to imagine them as like little cities, neighborhoods, slimes living together in peace with the monsters who have been placated by the bombs. Although I guess at the end, placate's a strong word. They kind of get completely eradicated. I forget I said that. if we're talking about like pretty puzzle design, it's gonna be there. Like they're not gonna do that at the last second. He's gonna have the nice diagonal lines. Um, Honestly, I could just try that and see if that's what he um was thinking. Though that is also kinda dumb. Isn't like dumb play on my part. Like I'm not thinking if I do that. Are there any spots where if we like put the wall there, for example? Yeah, so this has to be empty there. Because if we put the wall there, this connects. Same here. If we put a wall there, then that connects like that. So that has to be empty as well. Same here. That has to be empty as well because if we put the wall there, that connects like that. Also can't be there because it connects like that. So this is also empty, which forces the wall to be there, which then makes all of this empty, which forces a wall to be there. This is all empty now, forcing a wall to be there. Empty, empty, forces a wall to be there. Empty, empty. Forces a wall to be there. Empty. Anything else that's intuitively true? Hmm. If we put the wall here, then all of this is open. That connects the two things, so it has to be there, which forces this to be one empty. Is anything else? Obviously, I feel like I can just kind of brute force the rest of this, to be honest. Huge. 4 more in this row. Six, 8, 6, question marks on the ends. Oh, they tell us that these are automatically fold, or automatically full. I like these little markers here on the sides. I think that they're very nice and helpful. It's a clever little thing to do. Solves everyone the headache of having to manually check all that stuff. There's got to be a wall there somewhere, which forces all this to be open, given that we can't have this 2 hit those guys. Same goes there. There's a wall there making all of this open. Is that true anywhere else? There's got to be a wall somewhere in here making this open. So this 2 can't hit those guys. There's a wall there for sure. This 2 also has to have a wall here. Has to have a wall somewhere in there to stop these 2 from hitting. There's got to be a wall to stop that slime from being hit, but that's a much later problem. I think those are all the obvious wall rules. What's next? There's only one zone, which means we have to find a way to make sure the slime touches everything. Okay. What's the next logical step to ensure that the slime does in fact touch everything? I wish I had numbers for these rows in the end. That'd be very, very helpful. So that's the puzzle, I guess. I mean, looking at this, there's no danger in like slimes touching zones, right? That's not the point here. We're instead looking for ways to make sure that the slime can in fact touch everything, which is looking increasingly unlikely. If we put this guy here, for example, like that's scary. That's tough. That's looking. Yeah, what are the odds? We can't have. I guess we actually could have this 8 do something along. I'm looking. Okay, I'm looking at these 8s right now. These 8s are interesting because we can't have all the 8s have like their empty spaces off to the side because that causes problems in the long run for making sure that this one has its rule satisfied. So the 8 has to have one of the 8s has to have their one here. There are one extra empty space there because if they both have their empty spaces off to the side, then that rule is just invalid. So we know the empty space for the 1 is somewhere with these 8s, and that blocks off. Oh, oops. What does that tell us about the rest of it? That tells us that all of these are empty. And that tells us next to nothing about the 8s themselves. We can't fill in anything there, but that's still helpful. Is that true here as well? No, because we don't even know where the... We don't know where the other empty spaces are for these 8s right now. Looking at this one, we have... Yeah, what happens next? Okay. Using the same logic we applied to these 8s here, we can probably get something going with these 8s here. Do we have any guaranteed empty spots on this 8? Um, hmm. And there's no other bomb rules, right? Oh, there has to be a wall. That's not really helpful though, because we need to have bomb walls in here anyway. I got the impression that 6 or 8. The odds of the wall being here are pretty darn high. But at the same time, it is not like guaranteed by any means. Yeah, what are the odds of both of its empty spots being like right here? Not very high, right? What else do we have to work with? There's one empty spot somewhere in here. Just given the nature of this particular thing. Is there anywhere that these walls like can't be, for example? Because we're gonna be honest, I think we're gonna have like all empties here and all empties here to like make that work. That's not gonna be actually how it goes though, because then we have if this is empty, then that's blocked off. Here, which is feasible, but probably not ideal for like optimal placement. Where is this guy's one wall? If the one wall is there, then we've got all this. We need to have a wall somewhere in here. There's only two possibilities there. Can we map out where the empty space is for this one? We already have one sorted. Or surely we can get the other one too. Let's say this is the other empty. Let's say this is the other empty space. Then it goes there. It goes there. We're just testing contrapositives right now and seeing how far that gets us. Then what does that tell us about the rest of this? Oh, that's symmetrical then, which is nice. Normally a good sign. Does that tell us anything else meaningful? I don't really think so. So let's try the rest of this. Oh, so we for sure know that. Let's try it's here instead. Wait, that's what I just tried. So we try it's here, making this empty, making all of this confirmed, making all of this empty, making us have to have a pathway in here. Oh, this is all guaranteed, making all of that empty for sure. Solving this one. And anything else or no? Also, solving this by nature of that. Does that solve this? No, not quite yet, but we're getting close. That solves this, which then solves this row. Which then also solves this column. Which solves that column. Which solves that column, and solves everything else. Okay, we're now down to 50-50, then logicked out the appropriate rules. All zeros there, all filled in here. We know that this is all one zone, which is nice. Knowing this game. Okay, if these are all 9s, then we have to have either this or this or this be all exposed. One of these is entirely exposed, which means that all of these, because we have to have a pathway there, and because they're all 9s, we can't have it go anything but straight. All of these are completely filled up, making all of this empty. Let's go ahead and just fill it in now. And all of this empty. Meaning it has to be... what does it have to be? We can't have this be blocked off or that be blocked off, so it has to be that, I guess. Oh yeah, and that's it. That's simple. Next up. Did I click the right one? I did, okay. Looking at this, are there any enemies that can only bond by a certain guy? None that leap out immediately. Also, only one zone, which is nice. There's only one wall in here, which means that one of these has got to go. Has got to go up. The same is true here. One of these has got to go up. which then puts the 2s in the situation of for sure going one sideways and one down each. No, we already know. What do we already know? Nothing particularly helpful, it seems. Oh, interesting. If we put the wall here, for example, then this guy gets all of them. So I was actually wrong. Because there's only one wall here, we can't put him there to stop him from getting anything at all. We have to put it in the middle somewhere here, which makes these all open. And the same logic applies down here, which makes these all open. Because this has to go in the middle somewhere, the walls. That means these guys are guaranteed to get the ones to the side of them. What does that tell us next? That tells us there has to be a bomb there and a bomb there and a bomb on this side and a bomb on that side of each tour. There also has to be a bomb here and here, and with those 2 bombs handled, these spots in the middle are open. Are there any other potentially open spots that we can use to solve this 6 here? None leap to mind. Any other? Oh, this is solved. This 6 column here is solved, which then solves these 2 columns, which then, what does that do? Does that do anything helpful? I mean, yeah, we get more filled out. Oh, that solves these columns, which is helpful. What does that solve, if anything? Oh, that solves this column. Lots of column work in this one. Tremendous stuff. Does that solve any rows or columns? Nope, not quite yet. That solves this one, which then, oh, solves this one as well. Where does that leave us? Well, we have to have one here, and we have to have one here, because that's the only way to stop this bomb from hitting that monster, which then solves those rows, which then solves these columns. Solved. And finally, does it particularly matter? I guess it does. Let's try that then. Oh, it's both. What am I doing? It's both. I thought it was only one per. There we go. Last puzzle of row 3. This is fully solved. These are all questions. Awesome. Okay, well, you have to hit him, which is a good place to start. And this all has to be one zone. What does that tell us first? That tells us that... Oh, it's all one zone. That's so interesting. Oh, each of these will still explode and has to not collide with other bombs. That's a super interesting rule. What does that tell us here? That tells us that this has to be there. Then one more in there and one more in there. What does that tell us here? Nothing. Diddly squat, as they call it in the biz. There's one in there and one in there. And we can't have both of these blocked off. In general, we can't have it completely blocked off on all 4 sides. Oh, what do we do with this next information? I'm sure there's something I'm missing that's just plain obvious, but it currently eludes me. Question mark. Okay, it's because of all these question marks. Um, this 3 and this 5 are like really the only insights we get into all of this. Oh, interesting. Okay. We know there has to be a wall somewhere in here, and basically 4 walls to stop these 4 sets of bombs from exploding onto each other. There's only 3 here and 1 here, meaning that everything in between is guaranteed to be empty. Doesn't help us solve anything. It does. It solves these rows for us. Empty. What's next? What's next to be solved? That solves that for us. Oh, that one as well. That solves that one for us. That solves that one for us, and that solves that one for us. Three, one, two. No, that doesn't actually help us in any meaningful way. Hmm. Oh, what is next? I'm looking around. I feel like this thing we solved over here is still really important to solving the whole thing. Let's look at slime rule. Where does that get us? Either it's 1 and 1 that's blocked off, or it's both in a certain section are blocked off. Either way, I think, can lead us towards a solution, but it's still a thing to note with this 8 here. One of these is also a double up, which is just good to know. Let's see. Oh. Well, we can't block the slime in, which I feel is like is an important rule to keep in mind. We can't do a double up here. There's only 1 left there. We have to do. We can't do like. That's not blocked off though, unless we like fully block them off like that. Nice sound effect there. um, taking a look around. What is up with all of these? 8, 3, 5. The numbers, Jason. What do they mean? Yeah, I get the impression that this is going to block off something entirely. What? Who knows yet? Hmm. These question marks are really causing a lot of nuisances. Okay, but how many of them do we really have unsolved? We know that there's only 1 left in each of these, and this one as well. Only one that's still like really unsolved in the rows is this one. Here, can we do a similar thing? Okay, we already have this one solved. We need 1, 2, 3 more bombs, and we have 4 walls to place with those bombs. Up here we have 1. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so the extra wall is going to go either here or here. Because if, yeah, so we block off one, two. We block off three and then a fourth wall somewhere. By the nature of that, there's only one eight here. Or, sorry, of the two walls that fill in this column, only one goes here. Because let's say we do this, for example. We can only do like one here. We could fill up this double, though, for example. That's a possibility. Does that help us do anything, though? Does that help us in any meaningful way? Hmm. Okay, that helps us because we know that knows we aren't gonna like block off anyone if we only go like down this way, for example. That also means there's only one block at most somewhere up here. Maybe both, honestly. Maybe both of the extra walls go here. Just kind of go around like that all the way. This has to be empty so it doesn't get stuck in the corner. This also has to be empty so it doesn't get stuck in the corner. That forces these to be walls. Empty so it doesn't get stuck in the corner. That then, that probably helps us a lot, actually. Is that true anywhere else? I don't think so. Hey, we're now one step closer to piecing this all together. Oh, this has to be empty to stop them from being stuck as well. So that puts one more there. And then they can block it off with just the one block here. Same goes there. Are there any other spots that are potentially blocked off if we don't do anything to prevent that from happening? No. Is anything here solved? No. Unknown. No. Unknown. No. And no. Hmm. We now may genuinely have to worry about the slime being blocked off from the rest of the zone. Because we, for example, can't have the two blocks be there because that blocked them off from everything else. Um, if we do this, then that makes both of these empty, which then means that these two are the ones by default. If we only have one of these empty, does that still work? Yes. Does that work here? Yes. I think, right? It's symmetrical, so long as we get at least a little bit of it going, I think we're okay. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, it can't be that one, so it has to be, this is empty. Oh, interesting, interesting, interesting. It has to be this. No, because that's blocked off. Oh, interesting. Okay, I think I get how the puzzle is meant to be solved now. Yeah, okay. We need to figure out. It's almost symmetrical, so we have a decent amount of leeway here. Um, I'm gonna say this 4 represents that both of those are blocked off, which forces us to do that, and therefore that, which then forces us to have that open. That's closed. That has to be open. That's closed. That's closed. That's closed. That's open. That's open. That's closed. That's closed. Ah, and then a 6. Wait, we had the 6 to solve though, didn't we? Oh, because those ones are already solved. Ah, then how do we fix this conundrum? Oh, well, we do that. Oh, well, we can't do that because of haha funny rule. What's wrong now? Ah, that's what's wrong now. Three, six, six, 3 question mark. I need a third up here. Then what's wrong? Oh, then those two interact. How many do I have wrong? Fewer than 3. That's what I figured. 5, 1. Who knows? 3, blah, 3, 6, 6, 3, 3, 3. Irrelevant. 5, 1, 3, 6, 2, 8, question mark, 2, question mark, question mark. What's wrong here? Is it all blocked off in some way? No, look at that. I'm pretty sure it's mostly all correct. Not mostly all correct. How many walls do I have wrong? Fewer than 3. Yeah, it's just about replacing a couple. Is it blocked off in some way? You can access the rest of it through there. Yeah, you can draw a line through all of it. 3 question mark 3 question mark 6 6 question mark 3 3 question mark 5 1 3 6 2 8. Yep, question mark. Yep. What's wrong with having both of these be open? Because both are open right now, and that's clearly probably um, wrong somehow. Oh, because this mine isn't part of the group. Oh, 3 plus wall is wrong now. Oops. Oh no! I'm screwing up! Ah! Gonna be real. I'm gonna reset back to where I was in a good place, and then go from there. Okay, boom, boom. All empty, forcing those to be the way they are, forcing that, forcing... what's next again? Oh, right, all of this is empty. Excuse me, forcing all of this, which then forces that to be solved. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, has to be empty. And then from there, has to be a wall. This is solved, so it has to be a wall. Has to be empty, has to be empty. I think that's just about where we were. Oh, these have to be full as well. So now those are empty. Or that one's empty at least. Oh, what am I doing? No. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, there has to be a wall somewhere here, though. Yeah, so these have to solve like that. And then the only entryway is through here, which becomes throttled. Because of course it does. Okay, let's logic our way through this. There's only 3 left in this column somewhere. If we put it there, then that has to be open. If we put it there, that has to be open. So we can't have both of these be things. So one of these has to be empty, forcing these 2 to be full. That then solves this row. That then leaves us with this one being solved the way it is, and this one, this one, this one. Or, oops, sorry. Like, what am I doing? Huge. When in doubt, always restart. You just get back to where you were, back to the chain of logic that got you where you were doing well, and hope for the best. With that, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.